Nunzayin Amud Aleph. 5 lines from the top. Haonei Yeheshme Rabba Mevorach. So a person in his dream answers Yeheshme Rabba Mevorach. Muftach lo shu ben haolam haba. He's going to be in min haolam haba. Koreh Kriyat Shema. Somebody who sees himself reading Kriyat Shema. Ra'ui shetishra alav Shechina. It's fitting that the Shechina of Hashem should dwell on him. Ela she'en doro zakai lekach. But the generation is not fitting. המניח תפילין בחלום, somebody puts on תפילין בחלום, מצפה לגדולה שנאמר, ויראו כל עמי הארץ, כי שם השם נקרא עליך, ותניא רבי אליעזר הגדול אומר, אלו תפילין שבראש, referring to תפילין on the head. המתפלל בחלום, somebody who sees himself praying in a dream, סימן יפה לו, it's a good sign for him. ואני מילי דלא סיים, that's only if he didn't finish the תפילה. If he finished the תפילה, it's a bad sign. If he's still in the middle of the תפילה, meaning it's in the middle of the תפילה in his dream, it's a good sign. הבא לימו בחלום, יצפה לבינה, שנאמר כי Im labina tikra, and im is the same word as the mother. Ki em, it's like em. Habal ne'ara meurasa yetzapeh leTorah. Somebody who sees himself in a dream with an engaged woman, he should expect Torah. Shenemar Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha kilat Yaakov. Al tikri morasha ela meurasa, which is engaged. So if a person sleeps with an engaged woman in a dream, he's gonna expect Torah. Habal achoto b'chalom, a person sleeps with his sister in a dream. יצפה לחוכמה, he should expect חוכמה, שנאמר, אמור לחוכמה, אחותי את, tell the wisdom that you are my sister. הבעל אשת איש, somebody who sleeps with a married woman in a dream, מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. It's promised that he's going to be מן העולם הבא. והנימילי, דלא ידע לי, that's only if he didn't know who the lady was. ולא הירר בה מאורתה, and he never thought about her also, he never had thoughts of this lady throughout the day, because that's השם ירחם, bad sign. יש 10 commandments, צריך לחשוב, לא, אל תחמוד. נכון, אז פה, it's only if you're not thinking of a lady, סתם בא לך, I don't know, the rabbi explained, he's going to need to explain us this, I hope rabbi hears this, but he's going to need to explain us a little bit of this page, אבל somebody who sees this, it's only if he didn't think of the woman before and didn't know her. אמר רבי חייא בר אבא, הרואה חיטים בחלום, ראה שלום. Somebody who sees weed in his dream, he's a sign for shalom. שנאמר, השם גבוליך שלום, חיליב חיטים יסבירך. הרואה שעורים בחלום, somebody who sees barley in his dreams, שרו עוונותיו, his sins depart from him. שנאמר, ושר עוונך וחטאתך תכופר. And the same word, ושר, removed, עוונך וחטאתך תכופר, and your sins will be forgiven. Amar, and sar is the same word as seorim, which is barley. Amar Rabbi Zera, Ana lo salki mibavel. Ana, this is what Rabbi Zera said. Ana, us, lo salki mibavel. We never left Bavel. L'Eretz Yisrael ad dechazai seori bechalma. Until we saw a dream of barley in our dream, meaning until we saw barley in our dream. We would never leave Bavel to go to Eretz Yisrael until we knew because barley represents your sins being clean, and that's the only way to go into Eretz Yisrael. For us, somebody who sees a vine full of grapes, meaning the vine is full of grapes on his dream, and his wife will not have a miscarriage. And if he sees the shorka, he should expect Mashiach. Something with the donkey, and because of the donkey, we should expect Mashiach. Yeah, tying the donkey to the vine, you should expect Mashiach. Somebody who sees a fig in his dream, his Torah learning will be remembered by him. Somebody who sees basically explaining that if a person sees a te'ena, his Torah will be remembered. Somebody who sees a pomegranate in his dream, if it's a small pomegranate, he's going to have a lot of business like a pomegranate. If he sees a big one, it's going to be even more than, it's going to increase even more. So he's going to have a lot more business.
No, that's after.
Yes, after. Palgi, if he sees the pomegranate split in his dream, so it's split in half. If he's a Talmid Chacham, he should expect Torah. שנאמר, אשכחך מיין הרקח מעסיס רימוני, ואם עם הארץ הוא יצפה למצוות, you should expect מצוות. why? שנאמר, כפלח הרימון רקתך, so it says, כפלח הרימון רקתך. The Gemara now asks, מהי רקתך? What does it mean רקתך? אפילו רקנין שבכך מלאים מצוות כרימון. Even the empty ones of you, meaning the people in Am Yisrael that are not so religious, not so from, not so shomer mitzvot, even them, the Gemara says, even they're filled with mitzvot. Ha'roeh zetim b'chalom, somebody who sees olives in his dream, zutri pri v'ravi v'kayes kei kezetim. If he sees small ones, he's going to have a lot of business like olives, meaning it's going to flourish like olives. And that's only if he sees the actual olive itself. Aval ilani, if he sees the tree of the olives, havine banim merubin, he's going to have a lot of boys, a lot of children, boys. Sheneemar banecha, because the pasuk says banecha, your children, keshetlei zetim, are going to be like the tree, olive tree. Ikadamri, some say haroeh zait b'chalom, some say that if you see an olive in your dream, Shem Tov yotzeh lo, you're going to have a good name come out of you. Sheneemar zait ra'anan yafeh pri toar kara Hashem shemecha, and Hashem called out a good name on you. So seeing by olive, it's Hashem calling out a good name on you, so it means yotzeh lecha Shem Tov if you see an olive in your dream. Haroeh shemet zait b'chalom, but somebody who sees olive oil in his dream, yitzapeh le'ma'or Torah, he should expect the light of the Torah on him. Shneimar ve'ikchu elecha shemen zayit zach. Ma'or, nachon, we said, the pasuk says that a person took shemen zayit zach and it's lighting him. Haroeh tmarim, somebody who sees dates, b'chalom, tamu avonotav, his sinning is going to stop. Shneimar tam avonecha batzion, pasuk is saying that your sinning will stop. Amar Rav Yosef haroeh ez b'chalom, somebody who sees a goat in his dream, shana mitbarechet lo, he's going to have a year of blessing, of bracha. Ezim, if he sees many goats, shani mitbachot lo, he's going to have many years of bracha. Shenemar v'di chalav ezim lelechmecha. Haroeh hadas b'chalom, somebody who sees hadasim, nechasav matzlichim lo, his assets are going to have a lot of atzlacha. V'im eno nechasim, and let's say a person doesn't have assets and he sees hadasim, what's going to happen? Yerusha noferet lo mimakom acher, he's going to have assets from a different place. Amar ula,
You'll inherit like
you'll inherit, עכשיו יהיה לו. אמר אולה ואמרי לה במתנית התנא, and we learned in a ברייתא, והוא דחזה בקינאיו. And that's only, we learned, if he sees the hadasim only on the stem. It's a good sign if he sees the hadasim on the stem. הרואה אתרוג בחלום, somebody who sees a etrog in his dream, הדור הוא לפני הקונו, he's favored in eyes, beautiful in eyes of Hashem, שנאמר, פרי עץ הדר כפות תמרים, the pasuk says. הרואה לולב בחלום, somebody who sees a lulav in his dream, אין לו אלא לב אחד לאביו שבשמיים. It means he only has one heart for his father in heaven, meaning he's very loyal to הקדוש ברוך הוא. הרואה אבז בחלום, somebody who sees a goose in a dream, יצפה לחוכמה. He should expect חוכמה, wisdom, שנאמר חוכמה, חוכמות בחוץ תרונה. And the Gemara says, והבא עליה, and if he sees himself sleeping with the goose, Have Rosh Yeshiva, he will become a Rosh Yeshiva. Rav Ashi says, Ani raiti ubati alei, I saw in my dream a goose, and I slept with it. V'slakit legdula, and I became Rosh Yeshiva. So we see here that what we said, Rav Ashi happened to him, and it was. And he became Rosh Yeshiva. Haroeh tarnegol b'chalom, somebody sees a rooster. יצפה לבן זכר, he should expect a boy. תרנגולים, he sees many roosters, יצפה לבנים זכרים, should have many children. תרנגולות, if he sees chickens, יצפה לתרביצה נאה וגילה, fine garden. הרואה ביצים בחלום, תלויה בקשתו. If a person sees an egg in his dream, his request is still pending. אחי, מה שביקשת, השם עדיין חושב על זה.
gotta pray more, daven more for it.
Exactly. אבל אם רואה נשתברו, if he sees it cracked and broken, נעשית בקשתו. His answer was fulfilled. וכן אגוזים, וכן קשויים, וכן כל כלי זכוכית, וכן כל הנשתברים כאלו. And all the things that are like that are the same deen. הנכנס לכרך, a person enters a large town, נעשה לו, חפציו, his desires are fulfilled. שנאמר, וינחם על מחוז חפצם. So the pasuk shows that his desires are going to be fulfilled. המגלח ראשו בחלום, somebody who sees himself getting a haircut in his dream. סימן יפה לו, it's a beautiful sign for him. ראשו וזקנו, and if he sees himself getting a haircut and shaving his beard, לא לכל משפחתו, it's a good sign for him and his whole family. היושב בעריבה קטנה, somebody who sees himself sitting in a small boat, Shem Tov yotzeh lo, a good name will come out of him. בעריבה גדולה, and if he sees himself sitting in a large boat, לו ולכל משפחתו. It's a good sign for him and his whole family. והנימיני דמדלי דלויה. It's only if he's in the ocean, meaning in the high seas, it's a good sign. If he's not, it's not a good sign. הנפנה בחלום, סימן יפה לו. If a person has קטנים and גדולים in his dream, you basically, Peter went to the bathroom number 2 in your dream, you see that happening, it's a siman yafe lo, it's a beautiful sign for him, שנאמר מהר צועה להיפתח, והנימילי דלא קינח, and that's only if he didn't wipe in his dream. If he wiped, it's not a good sign. העולה לגג בחלום, person sees himself going up a roof in his dream, עולה לגדולה, it means he's rising up to greatness, he's gonna have greatness. Yarad, and if he sees himself coming down from the roof, Yored migdulato, he's coming down from the Dula. Abaye v'Rava da'amru tarvayu, they said, Kivan she'ala, ala, whenever you see yourself going up on a roof, in a dream, yorim, and rak ma'alim bekodesh, en yordim, nachon? HaKorea begadav b'chalom, somebody who sees himself ripping his clothing in his dream, korim lo gzar dino, it's ripping his gzar din. Ha'omed arum b'chalom, somebody who sees himself standing not dressed in his dream. Bebavel, if he's in Bavel, omed belochet, it means he's so tzaddik that he's standing in Bavel without any sins. Aval, if he sees himself be'eretz Yisrael, if he sees himself standing not dressed in Eretz Yisrael, arum belo mitzvot, it means a person is empty with no mitzvot. Hanitfas lesarduyot, a person is arrested by the police in his dream. Shmira ne'eset lo, it means that he's going to have shmira. Netuna bekolar, and if he sees himself chained on his neck by chains, it means he's going to shmira al shmirato. He's going to have even more shmira on the shmira that he was already given. V'hanimili, and that's only bekolar. Aval bechevla, but if he sees himself tied on his neck with a rope, be'almalo, it's not a good sign. So it's only when he's tied with a chain and not with a rope. Hanichnas la'agam b'chalom, somebody who sees himself entering a lake in a dream, ne'esa rosh hashiva, he becomes rosh hashiva. Layar, if he sees himself entering a forest in a dream, ne'esa rosh lebnei kala, he becomes the secondary for the rosh hashiva. Rav Papa v'Rav Huna berei de Rav Yehoshua chazu chalma. Rav Papa de'ai la'agma, Rav Papa entered a lake, ne'esa rosh hashiva. Rav Huna berei de Rav Yehoshua de'ai layar, he entered a forest in his dream, ne'esa rosh lebnei kala, and he became the secondary rosh hashiva that tells over the berachot of the rosh hashiva. Ika de'amri, some say tarvayu la'agma, both of them entered the lake. Ila Rav Papa, rather Rav Papa, the tali tavla, he was holding the ring, the bell, ne'esa rosh hashiva, he became rosh hashiva. Rav Huna berei de Rav Yehoshua delo tali tavla, ne'esa rosh libnei kala, and he wasn't holding the ring, therefore he became the rosh libnei kala. Amar Rav Ashi ana ayai le'agma v'tala tavla v'nivchi ban nevuchi, and he basically says that the person was holding the ring, the bell. Tani kamei de Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, we said, Hamekiz dam bechalom, somebody who sees himself letting blood, taking out blood in his dream, avonotav mochlim lo, his sins are forgiven. Ve'atanya, how could you say that? We see somewhere else, avonotav sodrin lo, his sins will be lined up. So we said, it's not a contradiction. Why? My sodran, when we said it's lined up, sodran leimachel, it's being lined up to be forgiven. So we said a person who lets blood in his dreams, his sins will be forgiven. We said how? We said it means that his sins will be lined up. We said no, lined up to be forgiven. So it's not a contradiction. Tana kamei de Rav Sheshet. Tana kamei de Rav Sheshet, he came in front of Rav Sheshet. Haroeh nachash b'chalom, somebody who sees a snake in his dream, parnasato mezumenet lo, he's going to have a lot of parnasa. And if he sees the snake noshcho, nichpela lo, he's going to have doubled parnasa. Horgo, but if he sees himself killing the snake, avda parnasato, it's not a good sign. So if you see a snake in your dream, you're going to have a lot of parnasa. If the snake bites you in your dream, you're going to have even more parnasa. But if you kill the snake, it's a bad sign, you're going to lose your parnasa. Amar le Rav Sheshet answered, Kol sheken shenichpela parnasato. Why? It should be all the more so that if you kill the snake, your parnasa should be doubled. And where the Gemara says, Velohi, and no, we don't go like that. Why? Rav Sheshet, who dechazachav bechalma vekatle. Rav Sheshet himself dreamt that he killed a snake in his dream, so he's being biased.
Did he lose the money or did he become rich?
He lost the money, I think. So he himself, I don't know, we gotta see, I don't know, I actually don't know, we gotta livdok al zeh. It's a good question, but he himself, the Gemara says, saw himself in a dream killing a snake, so he said he's being biased, and therefore he's saying if you kill a snake in your dream, you're gonna have parnasah.
Well, that's a good point. He's interpreting his own dream, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but it's what the other person interprets also.
But why do we decide to interpret it like that? Let everybody interpret it like that.
Yeah, but here it's not interpreting. Here it's telling you if you see these things, what it's the Gemara is already telling you what it's for. Meaning, כאילו מה אתה תראה? תנא קמא דרבי יוחנן, כל מיני משכין יפין לחלום חוץ מן היין. We said in one place, all drinks are good for in a dream except if you see wine. יש שתו וטוב לו, because why? Because there's a person who drinks wine and it's good for him, ויש שתו ורע לו. And a person can drink wine and become very drunk and it's bad for him. יש שתו וטוב לו, a person who can drink wine and it's good for him, שנאמר, ויין ישמח לבב אנוש, and wine makes the heart happy. ויש שתו ורע לו, and a person drinks wine and it's bad for him, שנאמר, תנו שחר לעובד ויין למרי נפש, and it's bad. Basically, a person drinks wine and it's not healthy for him. אמר לרבי יוחנן לתנא, תני תלמיד חכם, for a תלמיד חכם, לעולם טוב לו. It's always good for him to see, even if he sees wine in his dream. We said seeing wine in a dream is, every drink in a dream is good, except wine. Why? Because wine can be good or bad. Wine is good, why? Because it says yain yisamech levav enosh, but there's also, you can get drunk and be sick from wine if you drink too much. So we see it could be bad. We said no, and Amar le Rabbi Yochanan said that whenever a Talmid Chacham sees yain b'chalom, it's always a good sign. Why? Shenemar lechu lechmu belachmeh v'shatu beyain mesachti. And a Talmid Chacham, it's always good for him to see wine in his dream.